Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to our Tour de France discussion of stage number 17. Today was a two-climb mountain stage. It was the Queen stage. The Col de la Madeleine, also category, and the Maribel Col de Loz, also also category, and the high point of the tour with double points available in the KOM competition on that one. With that being said, that meant there were 60 points out there today. The leader and co-leader without jersey sit on 36 points entering the stage, meaning there was a very, very good chance. In fact, there was nearly a guarantee with 40 points available on the final climb that the jersey would change hands today. Meanwhile, the game that we are playing, which I'm really not properly prepared in any sort of way to play, it's been a long time, is Prison Architect, one that I played quite a bit of hours on back in the day, but since changing hands to a Paradox Interactive title, as they purchased this one, I have not played it since, and they've brought a number of cosmetic and gameplay changes since then, so this is my first time seeing that. And let's also hope that for a change here, we will finally have ourselves a game that is a little less laggy than what we've had of late. And this is the type of title and company that can produce such a title, so we'll see if that goes our way. In the meantime, like I said, things have changed a lot since I've seen this, so slum walls, nice. Isn't there supposed to be a door in here somewhere? Somewhere. It is walls and doors, is it not? Barred walls. See how many of these are new that I've never seen. All these starred ones. Minimum secure. Oh, I like that. Identifiable cliff edge. Oh, that's cool. Bamboo fence. Oh, nice. Well, perimeter wall, concrete wall. Yeah, there's your old standards. I do like this idea of doing something a little bit decreases the prison grade. That's expensive. What are these at? 50? Yeah, I'm still looking for that potential entrance on this one. Oh, hey, there's the doors. Hidden in a separate tab now. Well, why don't we turn this into a small... very small hallway. Okay, let's wait for that to be done. Meanwhile, back to the stage. So, the Madeleine, 17.1 kilometers, 8.5%. The Loz, 21.5 kilometers, 7.8% average gradient, but it's going to ramp up pretty bad at the end after a very long climb leading up to it. Also, it's been 5 years since there were back-to-back all-category climbs with a summit finish. So it's been quite some time since they've done that. This was not going to be an easy day at all. To make matters worse, once again, nearly a daily thing with this one. Oh, the door. The door is crooked. It'll work, I suppose. Oh, that is too skinny. So how do we want to do this if this is that skinny? Oh, I have an idea. How about we do something along these lines? There you go. And then we'll put some doors. What is that? 4? That'll work for now. See, normally I'll do some proper math on this, and yeah, that was not what I did here. Not what I did here at all. In fact, this doesn't add up terribly well either, but we could do 2 cells and something else with this space. This is very casual compared to what I would normally be doing. Focused, paused, figuring it out. Anyway, very hard start to the stage in order to establish the breakaway. It took 40 kilometers before we finally had 6 riders away. Alaphilippe, Carapaz, Kamna, first and second from yesterday, Dan Martin, Gorka Izagira, and Daryl Impey. Impey was not with the front 5. He was trying to bridge the gap. I gotta figure out what I want to do here. You know what? Maybe I'll turn this into our first kitchen. We're gonna build a tiny prison, apparently. I don't know why I need a jail door for that, but sure. Let's go with a staff door on the back side then, if I'm going to do that. Okay, we have no power. We're going to need to extend that out of here. Which means we're going to need more foundation. Get that going. Requires entrance. How about we demolish a wall? That'll take care of the entrance part. So, that brought us up to the first intermediate sprint. Relatively flat through that part of the stage. Front 6 go to those breakaway riders, leaving us a race for 7th place. As Decathlon Quickstep seems to have mastered the intermediate sprint in this tour, the results have been identical over and over again. Bennett takes second. His lead-out man then crosses the line a wheel behind him. Sagan then crosses in 9th. This time Trentin gets up to 10th. So with 9 points for Bennett, that's now 278. Sagan gets 7 points. That's 231. 47 behind. Again, still within the range of the penalty, and would be quite a close contest between them. But thanks to the penalty, at 47 points behind, it's looking unlikely that Sagan's going to catch Bennett at this point. Trentin also closing in on Sagan a little bit. He lost 1 point today, but just 16 behind at 215. Impey, just after this, gave up trying to catch the front 5, sat up, went back to the peloton. So we had a group of 5 at the front. It was a while then before we reached the Col de Madeleine. At that point, the break had 6 minutes at the base of the climb. Pretty early on in this one, 2 Jumbo-Visma riders are dropped because Bahrain and McLaren went to the front. Set a relatively high tempo. They were definitely setting something up for Mikel Landa today. I'm going to need some very small walls here. Let's go utility-wise. We need a power station. We're going to need a capacitor. We're going to need electrical cable, connecting everything up. Okay, we need a water pump station. And we're going to need... You know what, let's just go small pipe. Okay, and that'll set us up for each of those things that we need. Yeah, that's already pretty much taken all the space we need. Let's see, you need something, don't you? We'll get that canteen and kitchen going soon. Oh, I need reception. Gonna need reception. Maybe that's gonna end up being our reception. For our 2 cell. Okay, why are you so bad on the power? What's your problem? Okay. Okay, hook you up direct. Oh, your power thing's right there. Do I need to go there, or are you gonna just work? Quintana dropped on that first climb, and quite early on that climb. So the what was he in? 9th place rider, 10th place rider, 10th I think. Long gone. I never even saw him cross the finish line before I got to the point of doing the recording. Just 5 kilometers up that first climb, peloton was already quite small. Bahrain McLaren was setting a tempo that was definitely no joke. From the breakaway, Kamna was dropped pretty early. Definitely showing signs of the effort yesterday that they did to claim the stage. Alright, you need a bed and a toilet. Objects, there you go. Bed, toilet. Okay, let's get these in right there since they're on the line. Okay, I might have to turn this into the reception area because I completely forgot about that. Okay, office desk, table, and chair. Wrong table. Can we, let's see, right click. There we go. We'll do this right here, and we'll do the office desk table. Let's see. Office desk, where are you? Where are you hiding? Do 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 do. There are so many more choices than there used to be. There's a desk chair. I'm sure you've already spotted it. Meanwhile, I haven't. My screen might be smaller than yours, unless you happen to be watching from your smartphone. Then again, where? Come on, let's get on with this. Office desk. Wadenko. I'll flip that around the other way. No canteens. Yep, that's what I was trying to put in there. Sorry about that. All right, so back to what we're here for, right? Not the game. Kamina was dropped pretty early. There was a steady pace the second half of the climb that ended up ultimately keeping pretty much the same group. So they were pretty hard pace early, dropped a lot of riders, and then just kind of stayed steady from that point on the rest of that climb. Gap was at a minute 24, so it had been at 6 minutes. Break definitely conserved some energy on this one compared to the chase. Carapaz went over the top first and attacked that moment to get the KOM points. He gets 20 at the top, bringing his total up to 32. Alaphilippe went over second. He was definitely interested, but he just couldn't keep up with Carapaz. 15 points for him. That's 25 now. Dan Martin took 12, which is 21. Then, 5th place overall, coming ahead of the Bahrain McLaren train, Pogacar. Pogacar went over the top first from the peloton, picking up 8 points, bringing him up to the virtual KOM lead with 42 points. Mataway also accelerated. He picked up 6 points, giving him just 16, though, so way behind in that competition. During the descent, Dan Martin struggled, so we're through one day here in game, and we've got our reception. We've got 2 cells ready to go, or just about ready to go. What's lacking, what's missing now is we are needing somewhere to eat. So let's go ahead and grab another foundation for this one, and we will put this about right here. Might as well. We could actually put a cell door in between. So let's figure that out. We have walls and doors, jail door, perfect. All right, let that happen. Now, Dan Martin struggled on the descent, so he was dropped. He ends up back in the peloton before they even reach the bottom of the climb. The break pushes on, especially with the likes of Alaphilippe in that group. They open the gap back up. Peloton was around 35 riders left. Relatively sizable group considering the climb they went over and the pace that they started on, but they had settled down a bit, so it really didn't thin out much more. Bahrain McLaren leading it had 5 riders remaining. Jumbo-Visma had 6 remaining, just those 2 that were dropped early on. And by the time they reached the flat, the gap was back out to nearly 3 minutes. Little bit, we had about 10 kilometers before we then began the Col de Los. Gap came back down to a minute 50, so the breakaway lost a minute 10 over 10 kilometers. And the pace really wasn't that high. They were conserving a lot of energy for that final climb. KOM available on this one, 40 points with double at the top, 30 for second, 24, 20, 16, 12, 8, 4. Alaphilippe, barely a kilometer in the climb. Alaphilippe attacked. He got about 2 seconds ahead of Carapaz, who just looked at him, shook his head, pulled him back. Izagirre, then as Alaphilippe went to slot right back in behind him, Izagirre started screaming at Alaphilippe, and I couldn't help but laugh. I could not help but laugh at that moment. And meanwhile, the media, who have been doing this day after day after day, said what they keep saying each day. Oh, yesterday he didn't have the legs. but today he looks good. Today is his day. And they're saying this while there's this massive grimace on Alaphilippe's face of just pain in those legs. Alaphilippe's going to get dropped very soon after this, and Alaphilippe is going to finish the climb 18 minutes behind. 18 minutes. He lost that much time. He lost a minute per kilometer. That's significantly slower than everybody else. And I'm tired of hearing. I love Alaphilippe. He is a fantastic rider. This guy has talent. He has lots and lots of talent. Don't get me wrong. But, and it's a big but, I know, but Alaphilippe is not the same rider this year that he was. He is not in the same form that he was last year. Not even remotely close to it. And he has been, I think, given way too much leeway. And they just keep supporting him when he's clearly not at his best. And at this point, I'm growing really concerned for his bid at the Worlds, because right now he does not look like it. I will tell you right now that if he does not withdraw from the tour right now, if he doesn't call it a day today, if this was not his last climb of the tour and he's gonna go home and rest and recover, he will not win the World Championships. The first 5K was pretty straightforward outside of Alaphilippe's silliness, but the peloton did begin to thin out a little bit during those first 5 kilometers. Just slightly, though. It was pretty minor. At the front, 80% of the work was Carapaz, 20% of the work was Alaphilippe. Izagirre had just been hanging on. Bilbao had taken over at the front for Bahrain McLaren, and he upped the pace, and then many riders were dropped immediately. By the time we hit 13K to go, it was Carapaz who ups the tempo. That's when Alaphilippe was dropped. Izagirre actually hung on. He was clearly struggling, but he hung on. Gap was down to 50 seconds, though. Peloton, down to 20 riders. 3 from Bahrain McLaren, 5 Jumbo-Visma riders. I think it was Gesink was the one that was dropped at that time. And I know. I need to have a... both the kitchen. I want the kitchen in the back part. We're probably going to need an additional wall, or can I just do this like this? I'm going to make this a kitchen. Cooker, fridge, sink. Okay. Cooker. I think you go the other way, right? Okay, a fridge. And a sink. Okay. Excellent. And then, didn't say it needs to be enclosed. That's good. Canteen. All right, serving table, table and bench. Wow, that's big. And we are just big enough. Small table. Excellent. We will go like this and put a bench, a small bench on either side. Alright, that should take care of both of those. Oh, you guys can't get in? Seriously, if they can't get in? Okay, we'll just throw that in next to it. Make it work, right? On to the final 10 kilometers. The gap was at 30 seconds. Carapaz finally drops Izaguirre, who, like I said, was just hanging on. It took the tiniest acceleration by Carapaz to make that happen. The gradient was starting to pick up. Guillaume Martin was dropped down to 15 in the peloton. Now to 7 kilometers to go. They roll through Maribel. Soon after that, they're going to be on the new roads. I know I've seen them finish in Maribel quite a few times, or at least go up to Maribel. It's generally a finish because there wasn't another way to go down. But they made some new roads. Finished just last year, 2019. One race has gone up there. Lavigny so far. But that's been it. That was last year. This is the first time it's been climbed in the tour. And apparently it's going to be one that's going to be used many times. And after watching it today, for good reason, let's see if they can get that door put in a little sooner so we can get that stuff. They're all busy carrying what's here, and they can't get in. Can we maybe unlock the door? Maybe that's the problem. Hey, we can cancel this thing now. Can we just cancel this door? Cancel. There we go. Okay, canceled. These guys are all stuck. I don't have any guards yet. Is that the problem? Okay, what's wrong? No prisoners assigned to eat. Let's take care of that. Let's see, is that in planning? It's been a while. Do I have any guards? There. Okay, now we have a guard. I already have prisoners. Let's take care of the assignment here. Nope. I should probably make it 2 guards, huh? Gonna need a cook. There you go. We don't even have our warden yet. Never mind. We don't need him. There was 13 left in the peloton. Carapaz, his lead was holding at 20 seconds as we hit the final 5K of the climb. Carapaz goes on a little acceleration, opens the gap to 45 seconds. Caruso was at the front. Tom Dumoulin tried. Caruso was after Bilbao peeled off. Caruso took over, and Caruso couldn't keep the pace that Bilbao had. He was still there, but he just was a little too slow. And I'm doing a really bad job with this at the moment. Electrical cable. That'll take care of that. We need a water, small pipe. Okay. Let's go to the middle. I think it does. It's been a while, like I said. Let's go ahead and open the door. Let these guys get in, do their thing. Alright, well, capacity's at 2. I have 8, so we already have some issues, but again, not worried about that. We're focused on the stage, right? Tom Dumoulin tried to go up there to up the tempo, and Caruso was like, oh, no, I got this. And Dumoulin was like, oh, right, yeah, I can't accelerate. And he just backed off. Went right back in. So Dumoulin spent about 3 meters on the front of the peloton. Caruso took right back over. But they were definitely among the final support riders. There was not much left. As we get to the final 4 kilometers, so that had been at 4K. Carapaz holding the gap at 45. Caruso peels off. Valverde is dropped. UAE's De La Cruz takes over the lead, so supporting Pogacar. That was nice to see. And Dumoulin was gone. So Dumoulin spent literally 2 meters where he just went up beside Caruso, and they kind of took one look at each other, and Caruso was like, no, you're not fast. And that was it. That was the whole thing. So Dumoulin completely useless, never had to work. Jumbo-Visma didn't do the work on this stage. It was Bahrain McLaren's day, except for on the flat before the climbs. And Dumoulin just proved yet again that even though he's claimed that he's in support of Roglic, what I've been saying for the last couple of years anyway about Dumoulin is he's a good climber, but he's not good enough. He is definitely not among the world's best. And those who were talking about him being a contender for this tour were absolutely kidding. Joking. Those who were saying that the only way he's not going to be a contender is if he buries himself and helps and supports Roglic. Also, not the strongest of claims. He has proven that he's led twice for 100 meters or so, once for about a half a kilometer, and then just once in this tour, he led for about 4 or 5K and dropped 0 riders during that time, just the other day. That was the most he's done, but he didn't actually succeed at doing anything. Nobody was dropped. So from that, we get that what I've been saying about him all along, in that he's just not a strong enough climber. I don't think Dumoulin will ever be a true contender in the Tour de France. I don't think he ever could be. I don't think that the Giro or Vuelta is a totally different animal with significantly easier climbs. If it has the right time trials that favor him, and if he has a team to support him like Jumbo-Visma has at this tour right now, oh yeah, he could totally win those tours, which he has. 1 title. Giro, right? But the Tour de France, never going to happen. Landa dropped. And these are all about once every 100 meters or so. One of these guys are falling away after that 4K mark. Uran, gone. Yates, gone. Just 6 riders left. Lopez attacks. That drops Port. Then Moss. 3.4 kilometers left in the stage. Carapaz lead down to 10 seconds. Sepp Kuss, the only support rider left. Primoz Roglic, Pogacar, and Lopez were the 4. Richie Port bridged the gap, got back with the group. So 5 chasing Carapaz. 400 meters later at 3K to go, they catch Carapaz. Kuss riding at the front. Rides too hard. It opens up a gap. Lopez takes advantage, jumps the gap. Kuss is focused on him for a little bit. Meanwhile, the gap is opening behind to the other 3. Kuss obviously then slots in behind Lopez, going, okay, well, yeah, he's got to ride. If he wants to attack, he's got to ride. I'm just holding the wheel. And he looks around and realizes his team leader is not with him. So Kuss sits up, waits for Roglic. Roglic then attacks his mini group of Pogačar and Port, bridges the gap to Kuss. Those two ride on together for a bit. Pogačar loses the wheel just barely, but he was close. And Port slips behind again. 2K to go. Lopez has the lead. 9 seconds to Kuss and Roglic. 13 to Pogačar. And then Kuss finally falls away and quickly falls out the back of that group. 1 kilometer to go. Lopez, 13-second lead over Roglic. 16 over Pogačar. He's so close but can't quite bridge that gap. And Port had definitely started to fall further behind, was out of the picture. The finish, very much in every man for themselves for the first time in this tour. We only saw a couple groups of 2, otherwise it was one rider at a time coming across the line. Lopez had that 13-second gap. He's going to hang on to that. He takes the win. It stays at 13 seconds over Roglic. Doesn't make much of a difference for Lopez in terms of trying to go for yellow jersey. 13 seconds didn't do him much good. 4 seconds additional time bonus over what Roglic gets doesn't do him much good. Those 19 seconds, he was almost 2 minutes behind. So barely makes a dent on that. However, it will put Lopez on the podium. Roglic gains 13 seconds over Pogačar, who was 26 behind. So Pogačar worked a little too hard to bridge that gap, and in that last kilometer lost 10 seconds. That's significant. 2 seconds, the difference on the bonus. So that means it was a 15-second time gap for Roglic over Pogačar, and that is significant as we head to stage 20 and a time trial where Pogačar is expected to be slightly quicker than Roglic on that. After those first 3, Kuss cross line 4th. Port was a minute and 1 second behind. Mas, Landa, Yates, Uran, Tom Dumoulin, and Carapaz all coming in ones, other than I think Yates and Landa came in together, I believe. So, GC now. Primož Roglic in the lead, 57 seconds ahead of Pogačar. Lopez, almost a minute and a half back at 1:26. Podium's starting to get pretty spread out there. Port, 3:05. This is where things get tight. 4th place. Port's 3:05, Yates 3:15, Uran 3:24, and Landa 3:27. So 22 seconds separating those 4 riders. So the bid for a top 5 is very wide open. Mas 4:18, the only man in that no man's land in between. Then the gaps really start to open up. So essentially we have 7 contenders left, but realistically, the podium is going to be those top 3 guys, most likely. Dumoulin, 7:23, Valverde, 9:31. Martin was dropped a lot earlier than these other guys, but he held on nicely. He paced himself well. He lost about 2 minutes on the day, and I believe Martin is still 11th, probably just behind Valverde now because he did cross the line well before Valverde did. So I think he gained a lot of time there and has a chance to squeeze his way back into the top 10. In the King of the Mountains competition, there was 40 points available at the top. Lopez picked up those 40 points. He's got 51 now. Carapaz only got the 20 points on the day. He was outside of the top 8, so no points scored. He has 32. Cosnefroy and Roland, neither one could score today. They have 36. Roland tried just a single time to get into the break. It looks like he was pretty tired after the effort yesterday. Cosnefroy, looking like he always does, he tried really hard to get in the break, but he was always just following somebody. He couldn't lead, and he always was the first to fade every time the chase was coming. But Lopez moves up ahead of all those guys, but he is not in the lead because Roglic picked up 30 points, giving him 63. And now the leader of the King of the Mountains is Tadej Pogačar. He picked up 32 points on the day, has 66 overall right now. And the difference in that was the 8 points that Pogačar picked up at the top of the Madeleine. Getting those 8 points is the difference between him being first and second. He wants something. Not just the under 25s, not just the yellow jersey, but he's looking for anything he can get. He's got the KOM. He's got the under 25s. He might have a chance still at yellow, but it's definitely looking like Roglic is the man to beat in that competition at this point. Getting close. We're getting close. That was stage 17, folks. We've got a decent climbing day tomorrow. 19 is going to be sprint stage. 20, the time trial. Flat starts to ramp up and then finishes on a climb. And then 21, Champs-Élysées in Paris. We are very much getting close to the end of this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Let me know what you think in the comments below of the Queen stage today. What were your thoughts? Spread out all over the road. Roglic was at his end. Pogačar for the first time was really struggling. Lopez was kind of an advantage of the Kuss thing. Kuss was too strong, and Lopez benefited from that. It was a little mistake there by Jumbo-Visma, and there has been little chinks in their armor, just little ones, but there's definitely been signs of, you could tell this is a team that hasn't won the Tour de France. This is a team that has a little bit of inexperience here. This is a team that has a number 2 guy who is way too selfish and not properly contributing to the team. But they're still just about strong enough. Ineos, the team with the experience, the team that wouldn't crack. Bernal went home. He's not there anymore. So Carapaz looks good. He almost won that stage today, but that gap came down too much over that flat section. Those 10 kilometers, that's where they lost that stage today. Otherwise, I think Carapaz could have held on. Once he lost the stage, he sat up. He still managed to finish about 9th or 10th on the stage, but and close behind. If they hadn't caught him, he would have kept riding on. He definitely didn't crack. He was caught, so he sat up. But all in all, relatively good showing. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.